great. Thank you guys for being on tonight.
Y'all ready?
Fire away.
All right. Well, Coach, what's your overall thoughts from game 2? How did it differ from game 1?
Actually, I was very, very pleased with game 2. I thought I was concerned about it being a back-to-back game, about our energy level, about our intensity level. But actually, I think we all felt better. I think we all got a little bit more sleep today. I think we kind of got our second wind, and I was super pleased with how we came out of the gates. I thought that our defensive intensity was better. We got to watch some film from the first night. So really pointed out some things that we needed to work on and get better. I thought we executed offensively better, and we crashed the boards tremendously. The first night we had 17 offensive boards, and we had 18 offensive boards in the first half this time. So I really liked our tenacity, and I just felt like overall our energy level was a lot better, which obviously, after the travel and days of touring and all that stuff, I think it helped that the girls got their legs back under them.
Is there like any change of style that's different between like American basketball and European basketball that you've kind of seen?
Absolutely. So number one, they call a travel if you take your first step without putting the ball on the floor. So we've gotten a couple of travel calls, like Bailey Maupin for sure has. She's probably gotten the most because she's not putting the ball on the floor at the same time that she's stepping. The other thing is the physicality. Like, how much they call hand checks in the US, and they do not call hand checks here. So it's super physical on the ball handler. You've got even coming across the screen. I mean, there's a lot of contact. So I think our guards have got a little bit more used to that tonight. I think Bryn 100% charged and like pushed off because there was so much contact, and everybody was expecting a charging call and there was nothing, and she hit a bucket. So, so I feel like they are learning how to play through contact. But also, I feel like it gives our kids a little bit of an advantage as well, because in the post, I think we're much more physical than they are in the post and on the rebounds.
And speaking of that post game, you talked about Coach Pearson coming in. She's really helping your bigs this year, really establish that confidence. How have they been doing? I'm really interested to see how they match up against a European team.
Yeah, so actually the last day before we left Lubbock, we had our last inter squad scrimmage, and I was pretty disappointed that our post players weren't more relevant in that scrimmage. I felt like we only had one that really was effective. The rest of them weren't, and I pointed that out to them. Both games here in Greece, our post players have been very effective. Jasmine Lewis has established herself in the paint. I think maybe tonight she was really close to a double-double if she didn't have one. I think Lana Wenger has been playing phenomenally. She has been rebounding it really well. She's shown a lot of toughness in her rebounds and going back up through contact. We've gotten a lot of easy shot. I say easy. We've gotten a lot of shots inside the paint that they've had to really muscle up through, but they're high percentage shots. Obviously Katie Farrell's doing a great job, and then Kyla Freeland, who's our freshman, she's having to figure out how to score through the contact, but she's been very effective on the glass. So I'm really, really pleased with our post players, and I would say that Planette has done a great job of making them play really hard for her. There's a lot of conversation on the sideline between our post coach and our post players, and I think she's just doing a fabulous job of making them understand how hard they have to play and how effective they need to be in our offense.
Well, Coach, with all these new players, just how awesome is having this experience? It kind of speeds up getting these guys bonding like nothing could.
Absolutely. Just having the time on the court and them playing with one another, but also just having success within our system, I think it just speaks volumes. I mean, it really pushes us ahead more than anything could. Just the memories they're making, the time they're hanging out off the court together, I mean, and it's not like we have certain groups that hang out, like they all are meshing really, really well together. But I love this opportunity, and it's fun for me as a coach who kind of prides herself in building up programs and understanding what it takes to off the court to do those things. When we first got the job at Texas Tech, that's the first thing I did is establish when our foreign tour would be, for this very reason. And it gets me all warm and fuzzy inside to think about the bonds that are being made right now, because we're going to see it in during the season. You're really going to see it in November, because I feel like we're going to already have that jump on on other teams, but we're going to really, I guess, benefit from our fruits of labor from or see our fruits of labor from in February and March, when our kids will have being played together for like the last 6 months. And it's really important when you've got so many new faces, and we have 6 new faces, but even our 8 returners, they just haven't played a lot together. So it's been really fun to see them do all these things together and have the experiences that they're having.
How pleased are you with how they've jumped out in the first quarter in both of these games?
Yeah, I really pleased with the defense. I think we held them to 7 both quarters. Maybe the second, I think maybe tonight it might have been a couple of more, but I love the defensive tenacity that we have, and just the first punch, right? We definitely want to throw the first punch. And we're starting different lineups every game. I told the girls that everyone would start a game in the 3 games that we're playing over here. So we're starting different lineups. And we're having to, I just think that we're having to figure out how to play together. But I love the tenacity that we're playing with in the first quarter, particularly. Now we got to figure out how to make that continue on throughout the second, third, and then obviously the fourth.
Is Texas Tech gaining any Greece fans out there?
Actually we are. Yes, I think we are. The other team, for one thing, they've had to take pictures with us after each game, whether they want to or not. But they've been very courteous, very polite, very appreciative of the opportunity to play against us. And then we've had a couple of people that we've ran into that we've invited to the games, and they've came, and it's been a lot of fun to meet them and see them cheer for the red and black. We did have to explain guns up. And we did get everybody to get their guns up in our picture after the game today.
Have you learned any Greek out there? I told you my family is actually Greek, so Kalanikta is good night.
Okay, so yes, I've had some people teaching me, but I'm terrible at it's like I could never be a doctor because I can't even remember what medicine I'm on, right? But I have learned that I really like the food. And I really like to bargain in the shops, and I'm all about the euros. So I've been shopping and finding me some new jewelry that's handmade by some Greek people. And yeah, we're having a great time. And Greece is certainly becoming one of my favorites quickly.
And then last question from me, Coach, is you got 2 more games coming up. Do you know anything about the competition, or one more game? One more game.
And no, we do go over to Crete. And we're going to play a team over there. So it will be a completely different team. We know nothing about them, which I kind of like, because it makes us be very focused on what we do, and we can make adjustments in the game. And it's fun to see our kids have to do that, because we don't know how good our team can make adjustments in games. So I think that's going to be key and really big for us to be able to adjust on the fly. But we're excited about that opportunity. Tomorrow we're going to go on a boat ride and spend some time on an island and some beaches and in the water. So that's going to be really fun for our kids. We'll take a flight the day after to get to Crete. Is that how you say it? Crete, to get to Crete. And then and we'll play a game the following day. And then spend some time on a beach as well. So I told the girls tonight, if they give me a win, I'll give them a boat ride. So far, so good.
Coach, this may be a little bit early on, but from the past 2 games, you have a good sense of what the team's identity is going to be like this year?
I do. Yeah. It's really fun to watch them develop. I think it's going to be very fun because we've been pressing because we're trying to emphasize defense so much, and we want them to play hard and play fast. So I thought that it would be best for them to learn how to do that on this tour. Number one, because there's an 8-second backcourt here and a shorter shot clock. So it helps us to press because maybe we can, make them speed up or make them make quicker decisions, but it also gets us in shape quicker. And that really helped us during the 10 days that we were preparing for us to learn how to press. But I just like how hard it makes us plays and that we're on the aggressive mode. And I think our fans will really love watching us play at that pace, because we create some turnovers, it leads to some fast break transition opportunities, and this team can really finish. So I like how well they're passing the ball, how well they're trapping the basketball, running through some passing lanes, creating offensive opportunities off their defense.
And last one from me, has anyone, where even you or any of the girls, really had their Mamma Mia moment yet in the movie?
I don't know. We need to ask the girls this. Yeah, I mean, granted, I can probably bust out in it at any moment, but yeah, we'll see how that works out for them. I would wonder how many of our girls have even seen Mamma Mia, to be quite honest. Chuck, you're late to the party, man. What's up?
Coach, I'm sorry, I was working. I just closed a big deal, so I got the opportunity. Yeah, so it's all about keeping the electricity on here in downtown Lubbock. So I contributed to the cause this afternoon. Hey, I'm curious about, and you may have already talked about her, but could you kind of talk about Big Cat and the intangibles that she brings to this team? Because it's apparent that she's going to be big for you on and off the court.
Yeah. Big Cat is awesome. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but she's absolutely one of my favorite kids to ever coach, because of her IQ, for one thing. She's such a high level competitor, and she's all about making someone else look great. She will fill a stat sheet more than you've ever seen anybody fill a stat sheet without affecting the scoring column. And that's what makes her so valuable. She can rebound it. She can distribute it in transition. She really sees the floor just so well. And one of the biggest compliments I ever got, or actually she ever got, whenever I was coaching her at UTA, is Jeff Waltz from Louisville watched her play before we played them when we were in the Virgin Islands. And he goes, man, she's just such a great basketball player. He said she delivers the basketball to her teammates before they even know they're open. And I was like, that is exactly right. She sees things for her teammates and gets them the ball in really successful situations. She's gotten so much better defensively, and can really, read. She's kind of like a safety playing in football. Like, she can read the quarterback's eyes and can pick things off or see backside help. And then she's added, since I've coached her, she's added her 3-point shot. She's looked so much more to scoring than she has ever when I coached her before. But at the same time, that's not her first priority. But now she's making other teams respect her game, and so they can't play off of her. And that's a difference that I've seen since she's joined us at Texas Tech. And then off the court, and you can ask her teammates this, like, she's just so funny, and she's just such an encourager, and she just beats to her own drum that everybody just loves her. Like, she really unites the troops, if you will. And I think everybody loves to play hard for her when they're on the floor with her, because she plays so hard and just does such a great job of having your back.
I haven't been around her very much, but man, it sure seems like that's the case, because that's the thing that strikes me, is that her leadership off the court is just going to be invaluable to you guys.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Do you have anything else?
How's Tatum been doing? How's she been on the floor? Has she been in rotation with the point guard or a guard position? How's she been doing?
Yeah, Tatum's been doing really well. I'm really proud of Tatum and the work she's done in the off season. She did a great job over the spring and summer of just getting herself in a better situation to be effective. I think she's been much more vocal. She's been more effective on defense. And I'm really proud of what she's doing. And I think that you will definitely see a difference in Tatum's game this season. Obviously, because it's her last season, no doubt. And, she's playing with a little more urgency, but I think she's done the work in the off season to prepare herself for that as well.
We have time for maybe one more